Hey guys, Thrasher here. We have a new content update with some new missions and a new PvP season. But before we jump into it, if you haven't hit the subscribe button down below yet, make sure to subscribe and let's talk about it right now. Okay, so it is a new PvP season, so the first thing you want to do is go over to the PvP area and make sure you collect your rewards, the rare medals, anything else that you may have got for your ranking. And let's go ahead and go through the actual news here. Let's start at the very bottom. And right here, technically this is old, but let's just go ahead and open this up and talk about it. Currently the Napa event battle is running right now. The next event battle after this ends on the 24th will be the Frieza event. So you can farm all of those equipment items. Let's jump out of there. That's really all there is to that. It'll keep cycling every week. The next thing we want to talk about is the actual new scout battle, which has Turles in it. Pretty straightforward. There's multiple ways to get Z power for this Turles. Make sure that you're doing all 4 scout battles for this. They do give you Rising Souls, but the big reward here is obviously first time you clear it, you're going to get 10 Chrono Crystals. You also get 40 more Chrono Crystals every time you clear one of the 4 options with just a Turles. So you want to get a Turles to level 1500. I highly recommend if you have the purple Sparking Turles to get him to 1500. That'll make this a breeze. If not, you can use this green Turles right here, get him up to 1500. Clear all 4 of them with just this Turles. It'll get you 160 extra Chrono Crystals on top of the 40 you'll get just for clearing it the first time. So that's 200, and that's really all there is to this. It's very straightforward. It's just a scout battle, nothing crazy. Let's back this out. Okay, so we also have the PvP Spacetime Duel number 9. Let's go ahead and look at the details on this. Here's the issue with this thing. It's pretty much the same as normal as far as we have to play a certain number of rated matches, we have to win a certain number of rated matches. That's all really simple and straightforward. The big issue here is they big time cut down on the amount of Chrono Crystals we got, and in order to, so this is the Turles that we get from that. We also get him from the Scout Battle, so you can get him that way as well. This equipment item right here, I would say, is not amazing. It does increase blast attack, it does increase the base health, and it does damage against Sun Family. It's okay, but in most cases you're probably going to have a better option to use than that. So feel free to farm a few of them, but I don't see many cases where that will be your best option. Now here's the huge thing. Normally we get 1,000 Chrono Crystals. Now we're only getting 300, and then they're giving us 10 pulls on the Master Pack 1 summon. The issue is the 700 crystals that they're getting rid of there is actually 35 daily singles instead of 10 pulls. The other major thing is Master Pack 1 is not a good banner. So I do feel like we kind of got screwed a little bit there. But outside of that, everything else is pretty standard, pretty normal. We're getting some rare medals, cool, skip tickets, great, some Zenny. We don't really need Zenny at this point. I think there's so many different ways to bring in tons of Zenny that that's not a huge thing. But it is there, so that's cool. I think the major thing to notice is we're getting far less Chrono Crystals than before, and the thing that they've replaced it with is not as valuable beyond a shadow of a doubt. Okay, so now the next thing we want to do is back out again, and then we're going to talk about the Vegeta event battle that has shown up. This is the big content update. There are a lot of missions around this. They're all very straightforward missions. There is a 2.5 million damage Rising Rush mission, which we will do live at the end of this, or we'll do it in real time if you want to call it that, just to show you how to get it done really easily with a bunch of free-to-play characters. So you get this Vegeta as you go through it. He is a reasonably strong Z ability unit, assuming you're running some type of a dual color yellow something team, or if you have a very powerful yellow unit. But if you're not running a yellow unit, or your yellow unit that you are running is already super tanky and doesn't need more strike and blast defense, then he's not a super powerful unit to throw on your team. But he is someone that you will collect as you go through this, so just keep that in mind. And then we're going to go down here and look at the important stuff for this event, which is the equipment. The equipment in this event is probably the best equipment that's come out in the game yet. It's amazing. So let's look at this first one here. I'm an elite. So it's got strike attack, which is very powerful, and I will do another video on this in the future, but personally I would say that strike arts cards are considerably better than blast arts cards in the current state of the game. The next thing it has is key restore speed, which, as we know from my equipment stat priority video, key restore speed is the best stat in the game, period, with no exceptions whatsoever. Now the only real issue here is he has Saiyan special defense, meaning that for 20 timer counts when the battle starts, he's going to get a lot of extra defense against Saiyan units. That's good, but you're not always going to be fighting a Saiyan team, and sometimes you'll fight androids, sometimes you'll fight Frieza Force, you never know. So that is a little situational, but it is powerful when it works. Now let's go down to the next one. Elites can be beaten. This one, in my opinion, is a little less powerful, but we do have a lot of units that base their damage on blast attack, so 20% damage to blast attack is very good. 10% to special move damage is good, but it's not as powerful in most cases as getting strike attack. And then we also have this situational damage to Saiyans for 20 timer counts. There are a lot of Saiyans, like I said, so this is powerful, but it only is for 20 timer counts, and not every team you run into is going to be Saiyans. So let's go down to the next one. This one also has an extremely high key restore speed, which, like I said, that automatically makes it a good piece of equipment if you can equip it on whatever unit you're looking at. Now, it's got blast attack and strike defense. So like I said before, strike defense and blast defense are not the most powerful defense stats. I would like if this was actually a health increase rather than strike defense, but overall it's still a very good, especially for silver tier, it's a very good equipment item. And then this, in my opinion, is the big one. It's got strike attack, it's got blast attack, it's got key restore speed. These are the 3 best stats for a balanced damage dealer, and they are the first, second, and like 4th best stat for even an unbalanced damage dealer. So assuming that the unit that you're using is meant to do damage, this is probably the best equipment item in the game. The only issue with this equipment item is it only works for Frieza Force units, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, because I have seen quite a few people are running the Frieza Force team where it's got the Extreme Dodoria, Extreme Zarbon, it's got the Friezas in it. Sometimes they even throw the purple Vegeta in there. This will work on the purple sparking Vegeta. All around, this is an amazing equipment item. The only issue with it, if you ask me, is that it only works for Frieza Force, but I'm sure we'll get something similar for other units in the future. Probably not Saiyans, because I feel like this would be crazy overpowered if there was one of these for Saiyan tags. But like I said, this is pretty much the holy trinity as far as equipment items go right now. Those are the 3 stats you want: key restore speed, blast attack, and strike attack. If it's an unbalanced damage dealer, then you would want key restore speed, and then whichever attack they need, and then an increase to base health. But it doesn't get much better than this right here. Okay, so then if we scroll down, we'll see that they are just giving us important notes, nothing here that we really care about. We'll go ahead and back out again, and then we're going to go up to this sale, which is the last actual change. I don't know if I'd call it content. Here's the thing. Don't buy this. I don't care what situation you're in. I don't care if you're a brand new player. The Masters Pack is not a good pack to pull units on. Even if you're guaranteed a sparking unit, there's a good chance you're going to pull a sparking unit that doesn't help you pretty much at all. What I would pull on, if I were in your situation, if you really want to buy crystals, go buy normal chrono crystals and spend on either the Legends Rising pack or the Ultra Space Time that has Instant Transmission Goku and Perfect Cell. Now, if you don't have Instant Transmission Goku and you're willing to spend money, what I would actually do is buy the Instant Transmission Goku pack, and then I would spend those crystals in the Legends Rising banner, because once you have Instant Transmission Goku, the Legends Rising banner is the best banner by a mile. Okay, and that pretty much covers all of the new content that's come out. Let's go ahead and go over to the Vegeta event real quick, and I actually want to show you this team that I've set up very quickly. Here's how this is going to work. I'm going to do a 2.5 million damage Rising Rush. I haven't done the actual mission yet, so we're going to do it right now. I'm going to bring this Super Saiyan Goku, and I'm going to bring this Krillin. Now, you can switch this out for any Krillin you want, but the key here is you want to have the Krillin low enough level that you can use him to get your Dragon Balls, and he can be killed. Once the Krillin is killed, this Super Saiyan Goku is going to do massive damage. Now, these 4 other units, all they're doing is buffing the damage of Goku. The Nappa increases damage against yellow unit, which is the color we're going to be fighting. The Vegeta increases blast, both Vegetas increase blast damage in fact, and then the Blue Goku increases strike damage just to increase his overall raw stats. So then what we're going to do is we're going to go to change equipment just to show you the equipment that Goku is using. So he is going to be using Please Lend Me Your Energy, which increases his strike and blast attack, and does damage to Frieza Force, which I believe the yellow Vegeta we're about to be fighting is Frieza Force, so that helps, but even if it wasn't there, this would be a powerful piece of equipment for this. And then I'm going to be using Come Out Cowards, which comes from the Android event. You can farm it right now if you want to. Increases special move damage, which is where the large majority of his Rising Rush damage is going to come from, and then it also increases strike and blast attack. Okay, so that's the general setup for this team. Let's go ahead and back out, and let's go to the event and do it real quick. So story, and then select event. We're going to go to the Vegeta event. We're going to go all the way down to Chapter 1, the easiest opponent we can fight. The reason that this works so well is because there's such a huge difference in stats between my Super Saiyan Goku, who's 1500, and this Vegeta, that he's just going to absolutely destroy him on the Rising Rush. So we're only bringing the Krillin and the Goku, and the idea here is the Krillin's going to die, and then the Goku is just going to absolutely unload on him. The only thing you care about is make sure the Krillin gets all of the Dragon Balls used so your Rising Rush is ready, and then you want to have at least one blue card ready for Goku when he does the Rising Rush, and do not select the blue card so that way he actually uses it during the Rising Rush attack. That's really all that matters. As long as you do that, you should easily get over 2.5 million, so let's go ahead and try it real quick. Okay, so as you can see here, I've got the Rising Rush set up. We've got our blue card. I actually have a green, which I'm going to use for the Goku to do extra damage. We're running into a bit of an issue here because at the first level here is not doing enough damage to this Krillin. I don't think it's going to kill him. So what we're going to do is I'm going to switch to my Goku in a second, use the green card and Rising Rush, and then if it doesn't do 2.5 million, we're going to go to Mission 2 and see if that can do enough damage to kill this Krillin, because that will increase Goku's damage by about 35%, which should be a pretty large increase, but we might just be good here. So let's go ahead and switch it. And then we're going to green card, and then we are going to Rising Rush, and survey says get rid of that blast card. And with any luck here, this will do enough damage anyway, but we're missing two huge things that are going to be damage increases. One, if Goku's the only person left alive, it'll do a lot more damage, and if Krillin is the only... Nah, it doesn't matter. Destroyed it by a mile. So if you just run this team, it should be a non-issue. Make sure there is a blue card that you are using that you don't use for the Rising Rush itself. So the blue card is meant for damage. Do not select the blue card when you are selecting one of your 4 options during the Rising Rush, and you should get through this easy. Like I said, that was 4.1 million. If Krillin was dead, it would have been like 5 million and some change. And it would have been even more than that because he would have been the only character left alive at that point. So that would have been a huge increase. You can easily get this done. Just follow this team right here and you're good to go. If you guys have any questions, throw them in the comments down below. I'll be happy to answer them. And if you like this content, make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.